Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake, myself, BBD, and a special, maybe the most special guest. It's Trevor Plouffe, our guy. Trev, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on. Is this the first time I've been on Wake and Jake? I feel like I've been on once before.
You've been on, I was going to say it's once or twice. And
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
it's kind of funny because this crew right here, it became a chunk of the Talkin baseball crew this year. As Jom's gotten busier and busier. That I was trying to think of if it had been one or two. And, we let our hair down and on Wake and Jake just a little more. And you're a little bit of hair off, Trev. The clean-shaven baby face, Trevor Plouffe.
It feels good. It always looks a little awkward right away, but I'm doing it for a Halloween costume. You guys are going to see the pictures after the weekend. I'm not a big Halloween dress-up guy. I'm kind of being forced to do this, and we'll see how it turns out. But
Are you? Because I mean that leg, not Legolas pick. That's iconic.
Okay, so
yeah.
Okay. If I get to dress up in what I want to dress up as, I'm all about it. Like I've been Aragorn, which was awesome. I wasn't Legolas last year. Gosh, I don't even remember the guy's name. It was from the Dragons.
Oh yeah, you were
House of Dragons. What's his name? I forgot already.
Khaleesi and
It wasn't Khaleesi, no, but in that
you were
lineage,
a House
yes.
of Dragons character?
I was a Targaryen.
Okay. I'm already over it. I want to talk a little ball, Trev. I want to dive more into that. And Trev, I got a little excited. We got a little backed up on Wake and Jake this week. A lot going on. Playoffs. We've been grinding.
Yeah.
We're towards the end. I know you know. And then I was like, you know what? As we start to get into our baseball year-end emotions, we'll start to let him eat on here. And I always love. I'm a big Ryan Russillo guy. I listen to his sports podcast. I love Big Cat from Barstool, and anytime they overlap on each other's programs, I always have a blast with it. Even SVP and Russillo, that this is kind of our version of it. So I think we'll hit a little baseball, and then we'll I don't know, Tulum. I don't know.
Okay.
Trev, you just finished baseball today with Chris Rose. How horny is he right now?
He's ridiculous, dude. He started talking about the Laker game. Not only does he do baseball today and football today, he started talking about. I'm like, dude, I was like, Chris, I'm not even sure if that was a real game last night. Because yes, it was. That was their first game. So, oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a psycho. He's a sports nut. He's like, I need a hobby. I'm like, you kind of like have one. It's watching sports, dude.
I think basketball's the hobby.
I know you're like a sports guy and you watch a lot of sports. I don't think anybody watches as much sports as Chris Rose does. He goes, I don't really watch the NBA. Well, I take that back. I watch all the Cavs games and some other. I'm like, you watch a lot of NBA. He's a nut, bro.
I love sports. The equation and formulas changed a little bit just because I think of my personality type. I think, you two know me well enough now that, I was a Yankees fan, but if I had to miss a game, like I didn't care. Like my brain was just like, oh, that's how the day worked. But obviously with talking Yanks going, that recipe changed. And now even with talking baseball, I think last year was tough because there was a lot of pressure that we wanted to be so knowledgeable about the games that I would watch the Yankees game and then I'd watch like bits and pieces of the next game. And then if I was tired, I'd call it. This year, the Yankees stunk. So that was just out. And then, I don't know. I guess I was surprised how much I got into football last year. I haven't really yet this year, but I think that's because we've still been just lost in it, and I really haven't had my Sundays. But no, Chris Rose is on another level, man. And he's always watching sports. That's it.
He always like references like things that happened in the past, like not like iconic moments, just like random things. Do you remember in Game 5 of the 1992 World Series when I'm like, what?
No.
I'm like, no, I don't. It's like mentioning Russ Ortiz and shit. I'm like, no, that's not in my brain. Not in my brain at all. But that's how he is, man. And he's a delight. Okay, he's a delight.
Best.
He's having so much fun right now. Spoiler alert: he picked the Snakes. So
really.
And he's picked against him all year long, so it's not a great pick for you guys and your fandom, but he's on him.
Yeah, that was a lot of the reply guys today were coming at me and Jim. Oh, you guys are picking the Snakes now, and it's like, I did pick them to win their wild card series. So it's like if we're gonna do that, and it's like, shut up.
Yeah,
like,
no one knows
it's
anything.
A different matchup.
I try to tell people that. People are like, "Hey, man, who's gonna win the World Series?" I'm like, I have no idea. I really have no idea. And there are some times where we watch a lot of ball. You'll get a lean on a series.
Right.
I had a lot of leans in this postseason that didn't happen. Like postseason baseball. I don't want to say it because I don't want to give the front office nerds some ammo. But shoot, man, like it's kind of like this. What's that emoji?
Shrug.
That's what it is.
I know.
We don't know what's going to happen. Like, can the Rangers go and just bang the ball around and put up 4 spots like all throughout the series and win? Sure. Could the Diamondbacks catch fire and continue to do what they're doing and just like scrape by and win a couple close games and have the bullpen shut down? Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, dude, for the front office execs that we always are like, playoffs aren't a crapshoot. You get the best team, and sometimes luck happens. I mean, DBacks, man.
Yeah, this one. They're like the front office guys, like, see.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers have dominated them for years, and then for 3 games they were the better team, and that was it, and it's over. It's like it's not great, but it is.
They kind of limped into the playoffs. I feel like I don't know if we talked about that enough. Like we just said, oh, it's the Dodgers. They'll figure it out because they always have before. They always just like find more starting pitching or like someone will step up for them. Like they've been hurt in years before and it's just worked out. So that's what our brain is wired that way. Yeah, Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers. This year they didn't have the starting pitching like at all, and nobody was coming to save them. Like Kirsch, I can't. Like, if that's his last start ever, that'd be nuts. I think he kind of has to come back now. And then we had Bobby Miller. Like we were hoping maybe he was going to be a guy, and it just didn't happen for them, man.
Do you have any other thoughts on the World Series that like? Sometimes talking baseball, we have to bite our tongues a little bit because you don't want to say like player XYZ sucks or even there's only so much to say after a certain point. Like I can't slam my table and be like the Texas Rangers will win in 5. Both these teams could get swept. Like Texas's bullpen stinks. Like the Snakes have caught fire and lost fire within the same series. Is there anything when you think of this World Series that maybe talking baseball, you've been biting your tongue, but has been spinning in your head?
Not really. I mean, I'm kind of like, I want to see what Zach Gallen does. Like, is he gonna show back up? And that's a thing. Like, we like Zach, and he's an incredible pitcher, but he's looked like doo-doo the last 2 starts. So like, he's got to figure that out big time.
He could use a big one.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's kind of the series is Lovello doesn't. Well, he wants Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen to go deep into games, like sort of. Like he wants them to get like at least through 5 or 6, but then he wants to go to his bullpen immediately. 2 7-game series in a row. If Gallen doesn't give him length, I think that we might see that bullpen who we think is so good right now. We might see it get exposed a little bit.
I just hope we don't have. I think this series has such a big chance of blowout. Like Texas. Let's say Texas
What's the biggest storyline? Is there even like? I mean, I'm sure we do this for a living, man. I don't even know what the biggest storyline is. Is it Bochy versus Lovello? That's a horrible storyline for a series. We don't want that. Is it we spent and we didn't? Is that the storyline? Is it like?
Yeah, I guess if the Diamondbacks win, the storyline will be like Corbin Carroll's a star, like an actual star. It'll be like the future of baseball, like get your team to the playoffs and put together this formula with like 2 starting pitchers. Although Fott has been awesome, which is just ridiculous.
Yes.
Get a good bullpen, play good the Diamondbacks, they don't like when Dalton, who's been like out of control. I love Dalton. Diamondbacks Dalton is a monster. Our silly Kevin, referee Kevin, was like in shock the other day. He started calling him Salty Dalty just because he was he was out of control. He was running hot. Like he's feeling emotions he hasn't felt. And when the Diamondbacks went to the World Series, Dalton's like, I think I got to go to a game because this could be the only time in my life they go to the World Series. Like, that's a genuine thought. And it's not insane.
Yeah, if you
like,
that's
it
the thing.
isn't.
If you're a Diamondbacks or a Rangers fan, like there's a million storylines. There's a million storylines.
Yes.
But for the rest of the people around, the baseball world, I think that's where it's kind of like we're missing a little bit of that. We're missing a little bit of the shine, which, Jimmy pointed out. It's great to have those two fan bases kind of grow. Nice.
Yeah.
But, I think we're not going to say that on Talking Baseball. I'll say that here, that I think that this could be kind of a boring.
Has a chance to be tough.
World Series.
Has a chance to be tough.
That's mean. That's mean. Like I kind of don't mean
awesome.
that, but
it has a chance to be awesome. Like that's the other side of the coin. And I guess my biggest optimist spin zone that I was thinking about the other day, and I guess this doesn't fully apply to the Diamondbacks as what their team should be the next few years, but as of a decade ago, like Golden State Warriors as a franchise were a joke. Like the Golden State Warriors,
they drafted one guy and it changed everything.
Steph, Clay, Dre, all of that. Like that franchise
the Timberwolves had 2 picks before Steph Curry.
Johnny Flynn.
I think
they drafted. I think him and Rubio back. They did pick 2 other point guards right before him.
That's a funny T-shirt that walks around Minneapolis quite often. Is that draft board? Just self-loathing people of Minneapolis.
That's tough. That I don't know. Obviously but I guess that's what in my head part of it. A big Golden State got really good, and whenever a team's really good, our society is just big enough. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder as a team operate. Like I've got buddies in Oklahoma City. They're like huge Thunder fans, and like when they had Russ and Durant and Harden, like that city was about it. They'll be back in a couple years. The Bay Area blew up, so Golden State that had been kind of a joke team for a while, like they had a couple fun like Baron Davis years, but you're going back to like Chris Mullin, like that team was a joke. That I don't know. I guess baseball in Phoenix, which has blown up, like that should be a big baseball town. They host spring training, like. The Diamondbacks
have many ball players come from there.
So many ball players live there. Like, once they become ball players, they live there. So many ball players grow up there that, like, I don't know. I guess that's a spin zone in my head that Arizona should...
both of these areas.
Yes, and Dallas
is massive.
They just got the new stadium. They're investing in their team. So you're right. We do that baseball. Like, what's better for baseball? Like, if. In theory, you'd want teams to copy the Rangers model than the DBacks model, but I don't know. More teams are going to copy the DBacks model either way because they're not going to roll out $1 billion in pitchers and infielders. Like, so I don't know. I guess it's just realistic, but I don't know. That's the best spin zone I've got.
It's not like the Diamondbacks are so like the opposite of what the Rangers have done the last 2 years. Like unless I'm fully misremembering, it's not like they intentionally like bottomed out for several years. They had the 1 year being terrible, but that wasn't on purpose. And it's not like they like hoarded these top 5 picks and refused to get anybody.
We kind of laughed.
All came.
We used to just say like they do things differently in the desert. Like yeah, sure, Longo come in. The Mad Bum being their highest paid player is insane. That's nuts, man.
I was just going to say something and just lost my train of thought. That's what happens on Wake and Jake, bro. Sometimes you get a little squirrely here.
Kind of the goal.
Bacon.
Oh, okay. Here it is. Got it back. Just like that. Do you think there's a tweet out there? Rangers, Diamondbacks World Series. There's got to be one. I haven't seen any.
So, dude,
I've got to be one.
I've thought about this because I saw a DraftKings thing that was like, oh, this parlay hit. It was Diamondbacks Rangers $2 to win, $5,000 before the season, and it was like, whoa, is this?
Did they
this guy
have those up? They'd have those.
DraftKings, like they regularly post like good bets, like oh my god.
I saw
look at this
that, but
parlay.
at the beginning of the season, you can go World Series like parlay.
yeah,
And you can pair just about anything up.
but
Dude.
I thought about it, Trev. That person absolutely just placed $2 on every combination,
A lot of them.
so
yeah.
that when the season happened, they could tweet out, "I had it." Right,
100%.
Like you,
Not every single combination, but like a majority of the combinations.
First-
I'd assume he put a couple bucks on.
They got like a third of the possible combinations.
for someone on March 31st to place their only bet as Rangers Snakes to make the World Series, no way. You can't do that. That's not a bet.
I haven't seen any like beat writers or anybody that covers baseball. Look at this. I knew this was going to happen. Like nobody did, dude. Like 2 years ago, both these teams lost 100 games. Last year, the Rangers, it just didn't work for them. I don't even know what the Snakes finished last year. I have no clue. They weren't even in my fucking mind because they play in a division with teams that just make massive storylines. I mean, you talk about 3 other teams before you mention the D-backs in the NL West. Like you're going to talk about the Dodgers, you're going to talk about the Padres spending money, and the Giants. Like, what the fuck's going on up there? You're going to talk about those 3 teams before the Diamondbacks. So it's like, I don't know. I'm happy, man.
Both
I think
these
it's
teams were basically expected to be 4th in their division. Like we get Halos fever every year. Seattle was supposed to be nasty, and Houston. And then it was Dodgers, Padres were supposed to be nasty, and the Giants. It's like the same thing.
Like what we were saying about the Rangers, like, yeah, they got this whole new rotation. We like everything they did, but this year, like getting to 500 would be a big improvement for them, or whatever the exact numbers we said was. But
And I
they
think it's
won first
okay to
most
like
of the
talk
year.
about the World Series like this. People are like so like defensive, like, oh, you know what? It's the World Series, going to be awesome. Like, and it's like, well, we can say like it's not the best World Series matchup. That's okay to talk about it like that. Like, I think it has the potential to have some really awesome moments, which I think is the most important part of World Series is like the moments.
Right.
Like, shoot, like I remember those more than I remember the winners of the World Series. And I'm not like maybe that's different because I'm not a fan of one particular team. I guess the Twins would be my team, and I've never seen them win a World Series as I've been rooting for them. But I think in my mind, that's what I go to. When I think about old postseasons, I think of like moments, not the winners. Is that weird?
A clean shaven face just got to me there. I don't know. I was looking for the beard, and I had a different guy. No, that kind of makes sense, and that's the thing. Like I don't know. Give me the Adolis Garcia 3-homer game or something. Give me Corbin Carroll cycle. Give me something like that, and we'll get something. I guess we'll see. I have a somewhat personal question for you, and I think I already know the answer. But the Diamondbacks.
I've not had sex today.
Okay. Well, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Pickleball later. The Diamondbacks are. How many games did they win this regular season?
84.
84. The Diamondbacks won 84 games this season.
Negative run differential.
Their third base situation is Longo, who's your guy, but he's 38 and at towards the end of the candle's wick, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Emmanuel Rivera, who's I don't know, a younger player figuring it out in this league. Do you look at that and you're like, what the fuck? Like that could have been. That's got a perfect. That's got a perfect Trevor Plouffe. Like 2014 Trev on this team. They win 88 games and you're a World Series hero.
I mean, I think about not going to the postseason at least once a day.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding about that. It haunts me. It fucking haunts me, bro. Like, because this is what I think about. All right. We do our stuff. It's awesome.
Sure.
I'm going to be here forever. But I also do other stuff.
Right.
I'm calling the games for Bally's. I have aspirations to do maybe more of it. But I have like a nightmare scenario in my head when I'm like sitting on this fucking panel on Fox or TBS and I start talking about the postseason and someone's like, how do you know?
Yeah. Ooh.
And then I'll be like, fuck. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't, because I never fucking played in one. So, I mean, I think about it every single day. If that's what if you're trying to get me to think about it more, you accomplished it.
No,
Now I'm
man,
just pissed.
It's we ignored in sports a lot. You just mentioned Minnesota Timberwolves passing on Steph Curry, and what would that have done for everyone's career? Like, dude, Rubio was like the coolest shit coming out. I remember thinking he was going to be awesome, like the next game changer. That I don't know, for baseball, there's so few superstars that it's like, yeah, you know, Griffey's, Corbin Carroll's, like whatever. Those guys are going to go anywhere. They're pretty much a lock to get a second contract of sorts and like do what they want. Like if you hit that level, you kind of control somewhat of your free agency and you figure it out. And like Cody Bellinger kind of went missing for a couple years, but is a crazy talented dude, got healthy, and now he's got a free agency where he's going to figure it out. Even for yourself, which is, you know, that next tier of like, you played ball for 8 years or whatever. Like, so few guys get that opportunity. But the chunk of your career was you got drafted by the Twins, you're going to get called up by the Twins, and you're going to play third base for the Twins. And, like, you know, you've been laughing from that Cespedes Family Barbecue tweet that I think your pitching staff, starting pitching was 29th or 30th. Like, basically your whole time there. You had no control over that.
No
Zero.
control. I had a conversation last night with somebody who is this badass Iron Man dude. His name's Cam. He's like the fucking guy in that sport. And he was asking me about like contracts. He's from Australia, so he's like, "Hey man, like, you know,
are those people all sickos, dude? I don't get it. I don't get it."
There's like a new like marathon champion. This guy ran in 2 hours. So imagine running 13.1 miles per hour, which is very fast, for 2 hours straight.
Wow.
Right? I was talking to him about that guy, and he's like very knowledgeable in that field. And he was like, "Oh, well, you know, Nike's not touching him. They don't know anything about this guy." We were like really getting into like marathons and Ironman and all this stuff. But he was asking me about like contracts and how it works. And I was trying to explain it to him, but I was like, it's so boring. You're probably not even listening to me anymore. But yeah, I mean, the control it's a lot. From the time that you get drafted, if a team wanted to, I believe it's 10 years. Yeah. They could have control of you.
I mean,
because I think it's 4 years before they have to put you, depending on if you're a college or high school draft. I think they have 5 years for high school and 4 years for college. Before they have to put you on the 40-man roster. They just have you
right
for those 4 years. Then they have to decide to put you on the 40-man. So then there's 3 option years there. So they could just option you for that long. And then you have 6 years of service time. I mean, really, you could go, I guess, 12 years or longer of just like being in an organization, dude.
I hate to make it about the Yankees, but like Kyle Higashioka is sort of the go-to example of how long a team can keep you, because he was drafted, I don't know, 5th round out of high school, something like that, and he did like the maximum time before they added him to the 40-man. They did the maximum option years while accruing close to 0 service time. He's entering the 6th year now, and he's, I think, 33, 34. He'll be 34 in April. Yeah. So
I've said this many times. So I go back and forth about my career a lot. One, my first thought is, man, I should have been way fucking better than I was, and like I should have done this, should have done that. I could have been way better. And then the other half is, fucking thank God I like was with the Twins and got the ability to fail and to like you know, like maybe in another organization, I don't get those opportunities.
Right. And then when you get to the other team,
I might be,
you're not the first round pick anymore. When you get to the other team, you're a guy.
Like if I wasn't with the Twins and didn't get the opportunities that I got, like I don't know what I would be doing. I might be like giving lessons in a cage somewhere. Like my life would be drastically different.
Man, those are some
like
crazy
I am careful to like
yeah.
be thankful of what I have.
Because yeah, you could play both sides of that. You could say, oh, if the fucking Rays drafted me, and they got their good coaching staff in, I would have been Isaac Paredes this year and hit 31 dongs and been that guy. Or the other side of it is that's crazy. That's playing left.
And
field
honestly, for me,
Yanks.
it was like a hot stretch of baseball that like made me stay in the big leagues and got me a starting job. I mean, like a 6-week stretch that got me a job, and then I rolled with it from there. But yeah, so I go back and forth, like, man, you should have been better, and then also thank God, like I got whatever I even got.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I look at players in the big leagues and I'm like, this guy is so much more talented than I am. And like, he's physically more gifted than I am. Like, he just does everything better than me. Like, there are some guys, like, you just feel that way. That's a humbling feeling, man. Like, you're like, shit, I've been the best forever. And now all of a sudden I'm not even close to the best.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I can't even fathom that. And that's, I guess, especially getting older, like, seeing some of the guys struggle or just not get an opportunity, knowing how tight the window is, like, God, when I think we've gotten better as sports, just because, like, I don't know, dude. Some of the stuff is so laughable, even from the 90s, where it's like, yeah, you know, he was blocked at third base by this guy, so we never called him up, and then we eventually did. And it's just like, what? That, I don't know. There's enough with, like, top prospects that if you're a guy, you're eventually going to get a look somewhere, but that would drive me insane, man. Ryan Howard was the example we looked at the other day. Like, what? Yeah. Like, that can't happen anymore.
A guy like that doesn't get to debut till 25. Well, like,
now they have a DH. I think for a lot of those reasons. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Who's that's why when we talk about money and like contracts and stuff, I know like the general public doesn't like it because we're talking about dollar amounts that are
crazy,
unattainable for a lot of people. And I understand that. But the flip side to that is, dude, like, think about how the percentages are so against you and you are under control from this team and you can't do anything about it. They can call you up, send you down. Doesn't matter. So when you do make it and you get into this very short window and you have the ability to maximize your earnings, like, you have to do it. You have to.
Yeah.
And anybody in that situation would. I don't care what you say. Like, it's just people forget about the grind to get there. And a lot of times they focus on the superstars who are getting crazy exorbitant contracts, $400 fucking million. Like, that's like 5 people in the sport,
right?
Like, the rest of us are just trying to get to arbitration and then stay there because we know now as soon as you start making money, they're fucking crunching the numbers. Once you start making a little bit of change in baseball, they're like, well, can I get 2 guys to do what he did for the league minimum? And like, that's the fucking game, man. Every single year, somebody's trying to take your fucking job. So when you get this chance to make a little bit of, like, to make the money, like, you have to take it. Like, you have to be, you have to go about it that way. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense right there, but I understand why people don't like when we talk about big contracts and stuff like that, but you have to, like, remember the flip side to it as well.
Remind me to come back. I have some simulation questions at the end that tie into that a little bit. Just because I think people love sports maybe too much, but I'm one of them.
Okay.
What player is doing sports media stuff that you're just like, I can't believe they're doing sports media stuff? Yonder Alonso's suits shock me every time. He gets me.
No, Yonder's perfect for this day and age of baseball.
He does. No, I wasn't coming at Yonder. I was just laughing because he started to become like suit guy. Like, he's making that kind of like part of his thing. And I was like, ooh,
that's that. Yeah.
Like,
that Miami in him for sure. Who is, I don't know, man. Like, in baseball or just in general?
I guess in baseball, yeah.
Alex Avila.
Okay.
Like, never was never much of a talker, I don't think, and now all of a sudden he's talking on MLB Network. I think also Jake Peavy's one. I love Jake Peavy.
Yeah.
This is what I've realized.
That's a good one.
About doing like shows and stuff. You have to have energy. And sometimes I'll listen to our stuff and I'm like, man, you didn't have the energy today. And like, it comes across and I don't like it. Jake Peavy has like fucking massive amounts of energy, and I think that's why I like listening to him.
Okay.
He makes good points, and he's a very good pitcher. I would never would have expected him to get into it, but I think he's good at it.
Yeah, that's yeah, I won't name names, but we've been doing content stuff for a little while, and it's funny, like the too cool for school approach of being like crazy laid back and kind of talking slower and
Ooh, you talking about Jimmy Rollins?
Just chilling. No,
I want Jimmy Rollins to, and he's great, and like he has it in him. But when I listen to him and Curtis Granderson, it has a little bit more energy, but Jimmy Rollins needs to up it a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't even watch a ton of that just because we've been doing the live streams and we record after that. I honestly haven't gotten a ton of that. It's for me that them trying literally that one and obviously the Fox one, like the model they're trying to copy is Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaq. And it's like nobody can do that.
No.
Those are two literally larger than life humans that all of America knows that you can't do that. You just can't. Yeah. Although I do like Pedro doing it. But no, the energy thing's so true, and that's where like I end up laughing at myself for being this like nasally boppy guy. But
that's a great.
It plays.
That's a great thing that you possess.
It plays.
You have a lot of energy and you bring it.
There was.
I try, dude. I really try.
Yeah. There was someone. I'll have to dig through my tweets. Someone posted they took like a candid video of their wife. They were talking baseball on the TV, and their wife was on the couch, and she just lets out a.
I saw that video.
I'm Jake Storielli.
What's up, guys? Jake here. What a tool you are.
Damn. Fuck.
Oh man. Oh hey.
Yeah.
Simulation talk.
Okay.
I thought about this morning in the shower. No big deal. When I was rubbing myself with soap on my chest. Simulation, right? We like to go there.
I'm ready.
Do you remember an instance this year that would have predicted the Snakes not only in the World Series, but winning the World Series? Do you remember something that happened earlier this year?
An instance this year that would have indicated the Snakes winning the World Series. Let's see. The things going through my head right now are the fact that I'm connected to the Snakes at all, which is insanity. You sent me that clip after they won from our social media. I think that was one of my awards one episode, and I was like, invite the DBacks to the adult tit. Like, no more kitty gloves. Like, let's treat them like a real team. But I don't know where you're going with this.
Okay. This is hilarious. My youth team during the spring season was the DBacks. We were not good during the regular season. In fact, we went 2-13 in the regular season. But like baseball, everybody makes the playoffs. Right. And then what did the Snakes do in the playoffs? We ran it. We steamrolled in the championship game. I think we might even mercied the team. The best team.
Wow.
They got a bunch of rings, those Snakes. I'm just saying, this is already played out in the simulation earlier this year.
I don't know.
I would have been all over the Snakes if I realized that earlier.
I have no counter argument. There's nothing to combat that with. God.
Yeah.
The Snakes into the Snakes. My simulation concept kind of are people way too into sports? Like I just watched. I'm watching the Beckham documentary, which I think you would love because it's.
I watched like one episode, I think, or maybe two.
I mean, it's everything you're about. I mean, star athlete, hot wife.
I used to love Posh Spice. Oh my god,
she's oh yeah, Spice Girls. No joke. But dude,
I've always had a thing for like this. Don't send this to Olivia. When I was younger, I always
liked. What do you think this show is?
Don't clip.
What do you think this show is? What do you think we do here?
When I was younger, the girls I was attracted to, were always like the rich, snobby girls. and it makes like Posh Spice that it like fit the
Yeah.
brand for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why that I don't know why that was a thing for me. Maybe I wanted
you're
to
a
drag myself up.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
son of a pool man. You come from a lineage of pool men. There's something natural there.
I saw, yeah,
You're
I was
cleaning
like,
the pool.
You have this house? This is incredible.
They're looking at you outside with those powerful forearms.
Yes.
Makes sense.
His hands
to me.
are strong because he moves a pole through water a lot.
Beckham, he gets, spoiler alert, spoiler, exclusive, gets a red card in a game against Argentina when he's wonderkin, like the youngest guy on the team, young, handsome superstar. He gets hated and death threats and like all the crazy stuff that, it was just a crazy time to be alive because people did shit like that and it wasn't on social media, so it just happened and you're like, holy fuck. But I don't know, man. Like, sometimes I see shit like that now and I'm like, we're out of control. Like, sports and NFL Sundays, like the NFL draft, like we're so sports obsessed. It's insane.
Yeah, I think it's a release for people. So I think, social media has kind of taken that over. Now you can spill your thoughts and really have no repercussions of it. And you can almost treat the other people on social media like they're not real because it's you're just on your phone. I think that was what sports was for people for a long time. Those guys aren't real. Like they're
right.
They're on the TV, they're athletes. So you can say whatever you want about them, fuck them, or you can praise them like a god on the other side. Like you really could just like empty out these crazy emotions that you would never do in real life in your real time. You would never if someone dropped something at the grocery store and dented a can or something, you wouldn't be like, oh, that fucking guy, Butterfingers, he does, you would never, you go help him pick it up probably.
I might.
Maybe. I mean, some people wouldn't.
Hands team.
Yeah. But in sports, like you're able to just disassociate. Like that's not a human.
Yeah.
Like he's not. Like he's a figure on a team and I maybe like him or maybe hate him, but you can just kind of get those emotions out on people. And I think that's why people love sports. I mean, it really can get at you. And then there's the whole like, your family's rooted for this team, so you almost feel like it's your team and it is your fan. Like there's all sorts of crazy stuff. But I mean, what would this world be without sports? What the fuck would we do?
I don't know.
What would we do?
Paint? I literally have no idea. Like, because that's where...
Do you think we'd be better or worse off as a society without sports?
Worse.
You think so?
Worse, because
be like
all of us dumb guys with like stupid testosterone, we just kill each other. Like we still do that. We're still doing that.
So, okay. You think there has to be an outlet?
There has to be an outlet. And like the dudes lining up and playing football on NFL Sundays and even college football.
What would they do?
Like if football wasn't there or sports wasn't there for them, it's not like, I don't think those guys would be writing novels. Maybe a couple of them. Maybe I'm underestimating them. I don't see them revolutionizing the world in a lot of other ways. I mean, you could say that for pretty much anyone, but sports is good.
Who picked up the first rock and started playing catch? That's what I want to know. Like, what was the first sport?
Question.
We've learned some sports like highlight goes back like
the first sport
really far. Like I know some like the Aztecs and Incas were playing some sort of ball. Is wrestling the earliest sport?
So when you type in what was the first sport, there's a picture of wrestlers.
Okay.
It says spear throwing in 70,000 BC.
Fuck yes. Yes.
Just to like hone their skills.
I love that. Just dudes being dudes even back then, just like throwing the spear around. Oh, I'm better than you.
I mean, dude, they had to do sports, right? Like, okay, you go out, you kill whatever animal you need to survive. You light the fire, you have sex, you reproduce. There's still downtime. You know, like you've got
I think you're like fearing for your life 24/7 at that point. You're like, fuck, like what?
Like you're fighting or eating.
You close the door on your cave.
I would say we had to settle. Like you can't be like a hunter gatherer playing sports. Like as soon as we settled down and started farming or raising animals to eat, I think maybe that's when we had the leisure time to play sports. It'd be interesting to me to see if like, the cavemen or the people that are roaming around had enough time.
I mean, they were just constantly in fear and survival. There was never,
I don't know.
Throw this rock somewhere. I think there was games.
Yeah. How far can you throw
Maybe
this rock?
Not, right? Everyone was Neanderthals. Am I using that word right? Like,
yeah.
That means they didn't really do anything. It must have stunk.
Well, you just said that because there was no sports. If there were sports, you'd like, fuck yeah, I light my fire, I eat my food, I have sex, and I watch sports, and I play sports. Sounds like every guy's like dream.
Like even cooking is a game of sorts, right? Like you need to time it right. Like I don't know.
I mean, don't tell Bobby Flay it's not a game.
You know I won't.
Shout out Beat Bobby Flay. Used to watch that all the time.
Before we close, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook because luckily we do have sports.
Yeah.
And we've created a new game.
Sounds like they might need to add cooking soon.
Add it. We've created a new game out of sports, which is sports gambling. And the DraftKings Sportsbook, if you bet $5, and they're talking about the NBA, Chris Rose's NBA is back, you'll get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Basketball is more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BAKERS. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BAKERS. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 186 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms for eligibility and deposit restriction terms and responsible gaming resources. What else you got on your mind, Trev? Sports or life? If you got one more.
186 hours divided by 24 is 7.75. So you have 7 days and 3 quarters to do that.
I mean, don't even get me started on that, man. Like, how did we get there?
I don't know. Okay, what are we doing here?
How'd they figure out time is one that I get lost in.
Yeah. Well, time's a man-made construct.
Crazy.
Sure is.
What is time?
Like, how many versions of time did they do before they figured out this one that works? Or is this just the first one?
Sun comes up. I mean, this isn't the first simulation.
No.
This feels like the simulation where they were like, I don't know, let's try religion again. And it's just not working. It's just not working.
I feel like we're at the point where the guy's about to eject the game, blow in it, and put it back in.
Like, no way.
This is really buggy.
Whoa. We fucked up a little bit.
Who's president?
They're all fighting each other.
America.
The last 2 presidents were who?
America's getting rowdy. Like, when does The Rock run? How are you doing with getting older? I'm starting to... 34 is hurting me a little bit. I'm like... it's like old. It's not old, but it's like you're so not young.
I don't feel old at all. I feel very like good, and I feel young. I do. I think about that quite often. Like, shoot, I really do feel like I'm still in my 20s. Sometimes I think that way too. And it's like, you got to be an adult. You know, I have kids and shit. Like,
right.
So I have to like snap back into it, and I have a lot of responsibilities. But the only age thing that gets me is mental. The mental, like, I'm like, dude, I'm 37. So basically, like, in a lot of worlds and a lot of simulations, I'm halfway done with my life. And I go down that road a lot. Like, I'm over a third done with my life. Like, if I lived to 121, that'd be something. Or what would that be, Beebs? That'd be 111, excuse me. So it's kind of what I want. Like, I'm in to live till I'm 115. Like, I think I could get there. But when I start breaking it down into percentages like that, then I start to get freaked out a little bit, man.
Have the numbers started to move on that? Because I feel like that's the study that comes out every 5 years. It's like are we living on average a lot longer? Has that kept up?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, just modern medicine.
Because you say $1.15 like it's nothing,
I'm
and
going
that feels
$1.15.
like something.
It is something, but I figure like by the time that we're there, like there'll be a
Right.
few before me that get to 115, and I'm trying to be exceptional here. So
What are you gonna do ages 100 to 115?
do a lot of puzzles, man. I think that's
Okay.
the key. You gotta do a lot of like crosswords, keep your brain active. If I'm not like with it, then I don't really want to
Right.
be there. I don't want to just like be lying in a bed or something like
Do
that.
you have a loser habit you're hiding from us? Because I want to show an example for you. There was a while you were playing that horrible phone video game. What was that? You were challenging people to beer pong in the
yeah.
Oh, like
That's
the
fun.
iMessage.
Yes.
Yeah, those are fun. That's a good way to like stay in contact with someone without actually having to talk.
Right. Do you have
My sister and I do that all the time.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's a nice
we keep
feature.
connection there in that way.
Do you have a sneaky loser hobby you're hiding from us currently?
A loser hobby?
I don't know. I guess phone game's too much of a cop out, or maybe it's not. I don't know.
I don't play video games.
Right.
Man, I've been wanting to watch more TV. I think that might be it. Like I love
How about
watching
that?
TV or a movie.
Yeah.
Like that's like I really enjoy that, but I don't have a lot of time to do it anymore.
Maybe we finish there. What's your off-season plan, Trev? Because it does get a little lighter. The less talking baseball, less baseball today. Obviously a family man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a big gym kick right now, so that's always good. I'll
that.
continue to do that, but it's just more like I can drop the kids off at school, I can pick them up. It's more just being a dad than anything. I think I miss that a lot. Like not being able to take them to school in the morning's tough. But I trade that off because I have a pretty good schedule.
It's not bad.
Like living on the West Coast and doing East Coast time is great for me. Like it's saves a lot of my day.
Yeah, a little jealous of that.
Yeah, West Coast time's sick.
That's silly, man. Do you watch the start of NFL games?
Yeah, of course.
Like
Like
at
10 a.m.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. I think West Coast is the better option between East Coast and West Coast time zones because, like, I mean, it's trying to stay up for a West Coast game when you're living on the East Coast
Brutal.
is a joke.
Brutal.
Brutal. Such
Yeah.
a 10 o'clock.
Jimmy's been dying. I know you know, but having the second kid, like Jimmy's saying his bedtime is turned to 8 p.m. It's like
It gets that way.
That's tough to cover baseball.
I don't need a lot of sleep, so like Olivia's that way. She passes out early.
Yeah.
Which is really putting like a damper on our TV time because like we'll like try to watch a show and I get
Watch
interested in it.
together.
She's asleep 5 minutes in. I'm like, fuck.
It's tough, dude.
Can't watch a show in 5-minute increments, woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jess.
So then I end up lying to her. I didn't watch it, I swear.
October's obviously been tough because I've been live streaming. So the 3 hours that I'm normally home watching a baseball game, I'm not home watching a baseball game. So she was kind of in on the Beckham documentary because she was looking forward to the Spice Girls side of it, and wasn't a ton of that. She was out cold. And I'm on the edge of my seat like, yeah, it is tough to play at West Ham as a young kid. And I turn over and just, she couldn't care less. Why would she? Why is it such a big deal that he kicked it from like midfield and made a goal? I feel like doesn't everyone try that, or they should? I think it was just the fact that he was so young
And just fucking did
and
it.
like who he was and did it.
All right, that was sick though.
That was kind of sick.
Just like,
Dude, he's lived a pretty cool life.
yeah, he's good.
I mean, obviously it's got some lows, but like hottest dude ever. He's got an argument.
I haven't got to the lows. Has he been a bad person, or lows as far as like people for the red card and like?
Yeah,
being
no,
mad
I
at him
think
for all
just
that?
like not being able to go out in the town and your country wanting to like kill you for a little bit.
Yeah, he had a tough time in the World Cup, right?
Yeah, he got red card. He got blamed for it. The coach.
And if you get a red card, you can't replace the player, so you're playing a man down. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I would have been mad at them too.
yeah. Oh, dude, people were going nuts. And dude, the coach at the time, because the coach's job, like protect your players, right?
Yeah, this guy was
No, the coach
not.
like wasn't getting in front of it.
He threw him under the bus.
gotta be
Yeah,
better.
And he was like his idol. It was Beckham's idol growing up and shit.
what
So it's like
what a motherfucker.
it's a mind
Sorry,
fuck, man.
dude.
Yeah, you're an adult. Like Beckham was like, you're literally a kid.
What a loser, dude.
Yeah. That's where
I
Posh
can't
did it.
imagine that.
Dude, you're 22. You're in theory king of the world, but everyone like hates you.
Because your coach.
The game
Almost
went
like
to
the Bartman
the
thing,
game
like,
went
you
to
know-
penalty kicks. If his team won the penalty kicks, it's forgotten forever. It's done. Sports are crazy like that, man. Like Bartman, I think our society's changed a little bit for the better because of it. Like Bartman in the time, everyone was like, "Yeah, that is really dumb, dude. What the fuck are you doing?" And now everyone's like,
but
"Okay, we shouldn't have."
if
went
Felipe
too far.
Alou didn't react that way, or Moises Alou.
Yeah,
Moises or Felipe?
Moises.
Felipe's the
Moises is
older.
out there.
Moises was nice.
Moises is a great name. Why don't we ever talk about that?
Should we bring that back?
Moises?
If you're,
Is it too close to ISIS?
Moses.
I didn't go there. Closer to Moses, and it's a bad nerdy name. I think.
You can land on the extremes there.
A cool
Felipe. What a great name Felipe is.
Felipe's fun.
Great name.
There's a lot of
I can
good.
see you naming your
all
kid
the
Felipe
Alous kind of
Storiali.
There's a lot of cool cats named Felipe. Maybe literally cats.
I feel like I know somebody who like named their dog or cat Felipe recently. Did somebody here? I don't know.
Florida had a quarterback, Felipe Franks.
Who's more of a dog name, Jake or Teddy?
I think Jake, dude.
Yeah, I met a lot of Teddy dogs lately too.
Really?
Oh,
There's a lot of the golden doodles are like kind of like teddy bearish.
bears, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess Teddy's had it come. Teddy has had
Teddy's
a come up.
fairly hot in the dog community.
It's had a
right
come
now.
up as a dog name, and Jake's had a come up in the human name world.
Okay,
There was a wild
strong name.
50-50. Good chasing ball name. Trev, we chased some balls today. Thank you. We we might have to make it a quarterly Waking Jake. Let our hair down.
I would love it.
Voice our
Hair
grievances.
sounds nice.
Clean shaven Trev. I'm excited. Have you seen Liv's outfit? Is she bringing the noise this year or what?
She's got a couple that she's like figuring out. She always brings a noise. You kidding me?
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
ridiculous,
That's
man.
my
It's
bad.
it's not easy to be married to her. I tell her that all the time. Like, dude, you're just like
You're trying
too
to keep
hot
up.
sometimes.
Yeah, you're trying to keep up. That's
Keep
tough.
pace.
I'm going to the gym every day.
That was be
You know,
I don't
Jess
know.
is way hotter than you.
I know. I mean, people just
That's why you're in the gym.
people assume she's like my sister. Like you're not.
Like, you're not allowed to
Not
get like
together, right?
sloppy.
Can't.
Can't.
It's kind of shocking I'm not sloppy.
You're different.
I should be a chunky gym teacher. BBD, I don't know if this affects your weekend. Jess mentioned it on the way out today. It's very warm in New York City. It's like 77 today. It's like 80 tomorrow. That'll affect the Halloween costumes.
Halloween weekend.
Oh, a lot of
I had
boobs.
not inputted that.
Do with that what you may.
Maybe I will do something after the stream.
I mean,
I think I was there for Halloween not too long ago, wasn't I? Was it last year?
probably either last year or 2 years ago.
We
right?
went out to like the Irish bar and there's a bunch of people in costumes. Was that last year?
Could have been.
Rings a bell.
I think it was.
Could have been.
And we were not in costumes.
No. I think we're going to get dressed up this year. Something light. And then I'm doing 24 hours in Arizona, so
That's amazing.
trip.
I'm so happy for you.
it's crazy. Well, it's
Hey, just fucking send a text if you need a partner, because I'll do it.
It's funny you mentioned Bartman. I was like, I'm going to be in the pool area. I was like, can I like get a homer?
Is that what you do? What do you? So wait, hold on. Are we
Yeah,
like
maybe
running
check
long?
in.
And I do have to go soon. I do
Running
have
a
to go.
little
Soon.
long. We're under an hour. I think we're okay. The
What do you
people
got? Like,
it.
who is it? Is it? Are we doing it? Are the snakes involved in this, or is
So
it?
I think we can talk about it on here. It's
Hiding in a good
okay.
spot.
MLB covers the media, so I can't get a press pass.
Okay.
But because we're friendly with the snakes, I can still
Like
do,
because of MLB, or it's too late.
because of MLB.
because
Like
of
in the
our
playoffs,
ongoing
they're
feud.
fully in charge.
So the
of-
things they control, like All-Star
You don't think they'd
game.
give us one? I
I
know the
applied.
All-Star game
They
is like their
rejected it.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
Like before the
I
postseason
thought
started, or just now?
I legitimately thought this morning, and maybe I'll still bump Jim on it, on like, should I tweet this out? Like, should the people know that MLB
Like
is
how
still
annoying
denying
it
us
is.
press passes? It's probably not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Um,
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, like we'll get
figure
there. It's
something
it's a process.
We're more tactical than that.
But-
We're not gonna. Yeah.
I just need to get in the building because then it's all snakes people. So like they're gonna let me like fake lifeguard the pool area. There is an actual lifeguard on site, which is hilarious. It's like a 4-foot pool.
You are
but-
not gonna be a
They, like,
fucking
need
lifeguard
one.
at the World
Oh,
Series.
yeah.
Oh my.
They like need a real lifeguard staffing the pool at all times, right?
Yes. So
That's set up like a second chair.
they've
Oh my
notified me
gosh,
that I am
bro.
not technically a lifeguard, but yeah, I'll be by the pool. So we need like a homer out there or something.
Oh my gosh. Like if you jump in the pool and get the homer while you have like zinc on your nose.
Yeah. Yeah, we're mapping that out today. The outfit and everything. So
MLB, figure it out. Come on, guys.
like just like open your arms. Like what are we doing?
the people that get credentials from you, it's a fucking joke. I'm sorry. You hand them out like candy, but then you hold it against us for what?
No idea.
You guys are growing the game too much.
We put out too many positive vibes around baseball, so
It's because I said a couple things about Rob Manfred and his clock ring.
that was a compliment.
It's trying to be
It was a
nice.
compliment, by the way.
Yeah, that was a very positive award he received.
Hey, he kind of killed it. He kind of killed it
Hey,
this year.
his-
He gave
kind
us
of
flowers,
his
bro.
last like
Big year for Rob.
365
Dude,
days have been
I think-
great.
I think Rob is cool with us. I think a lot of the people at the top circle are cool with us. There's like a middle layer that we're not cool enough with the top layer for them
Just like
to
tell
tell
him to
the
shut
middle
up.
layer to let it go. So there's a couple fighters in the middle layer, but every
I already
year,
have the solution already. I won't say it on there, but I already have the solution.
Okay.
And it's a real one.
Okay.
Okay.
Trevor Plouffe, did you get 100K on X?
Oh no.
Okay. Well,
can
Well,
promote
no,
that.
no, I'm not even close. I think I'm
Oh.
90 something. So come on, people.
come on, people.
We got 100K on TB, so we can pivot
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
promoting that.
It's good content. 94K. Okay.
I need to X more. I'm just not a good Xer.
I
It's
think
tough.
you're a great Xer.
It's tough for me during the streams because I'm like talking to people, but yeah, we'll get in a better X flow. You're a good Xer, Trev. Believe in
Thanks.
it. All right, Poppy. Love you.